Hi guys, welcome to Exam Debug. Chris McKenna here again, and we're going to be continuing on with our Python 3 tutorial. Now we're going to be looking at nested ifs, but to do that you're going to have the background in if statements. So if you missed that video for some reason, or you don't understand what ifs are, please go back and have a look at that video. So nested ifs are pretty simple in the sense that we already know what we're doing with a normal if. But with a nested if, we're going to put an if inside of another if. And in this case, syntax, that is grammar in programming, becomes very important, especially indentation. So let's say I want to put an if down here. That's going to be a separate if. That's going to then attach to this, and this will be alone. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that our if is indented and it's inside the other if. So again, anything that's indented after this is inside of the one before. Look out for the colons. They're a good way for you to see when you should be using indentation or not. So let's make something in there. So if it's a master password, we want to set the answer to be how are you, master? Okay, and again the input thing is just a question, and it will assign the result of the question, whatever they type here, to be the contents of the answer variable. And then we can do our if. So if answer double equals, remember double is it the same as, this one is make the same as. So single equals make the same, double equals is it the same. So if answer equals good, sorry, I really need to get my keyboard fixed. I know I say that every time, but hey, one day I will. So if the answer equals good, then we want to print I'm glad to hear that, master. Okay, now again, indentation. So this print statement is going to be inside of this if, and both of them are going to be inside of this if. So this if will only happen if the password is this. And we can also do our usual things, elifs, and again, we don't put them on the far side, we keep them on the same level as the if that they're linked to. So elif, answer equals, oops, bad, then print, I'm sorry I have failed you, and then it will go and kill itself. And then else, so else is any other option. We want to say print sorry master, I only know good and bad. Cannot type good and bad. Okay, and hopefully that'll work. And there might be an error. There's always something. Let's see. What's the password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome to the system, my master and overlord. How are you, master? So if the answer is good, and remember you need capital letters, we'll talk about maybe how to deal with that better in the future, but if the answer is good, I'm glad to hear that, master. Yeah, and we can run it again just to check the other paths. Remember you should always check all the different routes, not just the 3, 4, 5, not just the other one, not just the first one. Bad, I'm sorry I failed you. And then we should also try the else, but we'll leave that for today. I'm pretty sure it will work. Okay, so all simple enough. And again, remember, this doesn't have to be just 1 or 2 levels. You can have as many levels in there as you like. So we could add another question in here. Let's just use answer variable again. You can use the variables as many times as you like, as long as it makes sense. So answer is going to equal input. What would you like to do today? And then again, inside if answer equals, ooh, then print the same as you do every day, master. Okay, so, and again we could have an elif, an else, and then we could have more inside of that as well. But let's just check that works. What's the password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How are you, master? I'm good. And God, what would you like to do today? Rule. The same as you do every day, master. Great. Okay, so that's an example of how we can nest ifs inside other ifs. It doesn't just have to be inside of an if. You could put an if inside of an elif. You could put ifs inside of elses as well. There's nothing to stop you putting in if down here and adding it inside an else. So pretty much everything can go inside all of the others. But remember, you need the structure. You should always start with an if. If you're using an else, you can only have one of them and it goes at the end. And in between, you can have as many elifs as you like. My suggestion for this would be try and create, I'm doing this with my grade 8s before, try and create a simple AI, by which I mean try and replicate a human being. If you're interested in more of the theory stuff, you might want to have a look at trying to fake a Turing test, which is very hard, but just simple. So for example, some of my students are into Korean pop or K-pop, and they would ask questions about which band member do you like, and then, oh, I like him, what do you think about this, and then they have different paths that you can follow, say, depending on the members of the band. Or you could do it for talking about computer games, or you could do it for football players. Anything you're interested in, try and make something that's going to have a little conversation with you, so that you're not so lonely anymore. No, only joking. Okay, great. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and check in, and we'll continue on from here next class. Bye-bye.